Welcome back all to Mudstomp Souls. Continuing my trend of doing some pen and paper type puzzles and stuff, I decided today that we're going to have a look at an Arrow Words. So Arrow Words is this one's a Simply Arrow Words booklet. You can pick it up from newsagents in Australia. This one in particular also sells in New Zealand. Basically it's like a crossword, but it just seems to be slightly different sort of clue styles or something. I always find crosswords a bit difficult at times, and Arrow Words I find a little bit simpler, straightforward, and I tend to enjoy the process a little bit more. So yeah, we're going to have a look at this one. I perused this one a tiny bit and saw that there's quite a bit I can do very quickly early on, so I figured this would be a nice one to sort of do on a video just to get going into it and give it a go. And if you like it, I might do some more in the future. So anyway, we're going to get started and see where we end up. So to start with, I'm just going to start scanning from the top and see what I can figure out. So here we've got a giant gas planet. I'm going to guess Jupiter doesn't fit. Saturn. Saturn's probably the word we're looking for here. So one done, a few more to go. All right, fording or padding, I'm not entirely sure what that means, so we'll figure that out in a bit. Pay attention. Turn to maybe, something like that. I don't know, we'll see how that one goes. Exclusively, I'm guessing that's going to be only. So sometimes I get these wrong, sometimes I get it right. If I'm not entirely sure, but I have a pretty good guess, I'll usually write it in the box and come back to it, just depending, so we'll see. Moving across, something Duncan, Aussie actress. My first thought was Ken Duncan, the artist, but I'm just trying to think. I don't think I know an Aussie actress with the last name Duncan. I have to figure that. I have a feeling that might be a Home Away or Neighbours star, but anyway. Set your teeth on edge. Maybe jar or something like that. I'm not sure. Horse breed. I don't know horse breeds at all. We'll figure that one out when we get a few more letters, maybe. Hopefully I won't have to look it up. I have to occasionally look a few up. So yeah. Course of existence. Yeah, I'm not sure, especially because there's a Y there. If that Y is accurate, there's the second letter in the 5-letter word. That's going to be a curious one. All right, we're going to have to come back to that. Experiences, emotions, feels, maybe? I'm tempted to think that would be feels. Yeah, I'm going to put that in. I'm pretty confident on that one. Feels, emotions. Okay. Working on that area. So somebody young Canadian singer. I'm pretty sure that's Neil Young. I think this is how you spell his name. Hope I've got it correct. Switzerland's second largest city. I don't even know what their largest city is. Switzerland, I think. Yeah, no, because Stockholm's in Sweden. I have no idea. I'm not very good with geography. I usually get my wife to help me out with those ones, but I'll have a look at that later. Try, hopefully a couple more letters will give me the hint. Intelligent, so it could be like smart. Just trying to think. Yep, nothing coming to mind, so we'll leave that one for now. Moving across, so French word for castle. No idea, I don't speak French, so hopefully that'll become more evident soon enough. Must would be like a have to or something, but 3-letter word and then two. Something to, I imagine, but yeah, all right, we'll see. Tradesman's quotation. I'm going to guess that's ESTI. Estimate, I think, would fit there. All right, estimate's not bad. We'll keep going. Colette, dream horse actress. I'm guessing that's Toni Collette. Toni Collette. Scruffy for a book. Like 2 words though, like tattered or damaged. I don't know. I have to see. All right. Do narrating. Now I have a feeling that that's like, I think it's tog. So there'd be a G there, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to just put G next to it and hopefully I'll figure that one out. String. That's kind of ironic because the I and the N match in with the string, but a type of string, I guess, maybe. Don't know. Maybe like twine, maybe. I'm gonna put that here. I think that'll fit. I don't know. I don't feel confident on that one. Yeah, maybe that would put an E there. GE. We'll see. Mamma Mia the musical. All right. Just working back through. So thought things through. Planned maybe. PLANNED. No. Thought things through, like processed. PROCESSED. Not sure. We'll come back to that one. Something white. Disney. Yeah, Snow White. Okay. And then this is requisite. So need, I'm guessing. It's a requisite for life, a need for life, let's say. I'll just look at this W as well. Cleanse. I'm guessing that's got to be wash. I don't feel super confident on that, but I'm just thinking revere deeply, admire. No. Yeah. Takes notice of. Takes notice of. So if you notice something, you see it. If it was H, that'd be like, oh. No, can't think of anything. All right, moving back up over here. Let's continue. So happy, excited, no, ecstatic, no, not sure. Gloss. I think like gloss is like a sealant or a shiny or something. Not sure how the ST would fit into that. Zone or region is probably area, I'm guessing. I've seen this clue a few times in this book, I think. So area, and the happy does start with E. Elated? Elated? ELATED. That seems to work. So if that's elated, and going back to gloss, luster? Maybe? That might work. I'm just lust. RE. So that'd be RE something. Think things through would be like re something. I can't think. And then ED would make sense for an ending, I'm sure. But yeah, okay. I'm going to leave that for the moment. AU at the end is, but it is a French word, so that's possible. All right. What else have we got? So beach grains. So that could be sand, I'm going to assume. Heredity code, DNA, of course. Over here, what have we got? Okay, mild terms instead of harsh ones. With a big long word. Oh my gosh. Mild terms. So like relaxed or like gentle. I'm not sure. Father of King David. I'm assuming that's King David of the Bible, and I think it's Jesse, actually. I think it might be Jesse. So that if it is Jesse, that means that the mild term starts with E. Not sure. And then this one, intelligent, something ER. Clever? CLEVER? Yeah, that's got to be clever. Okay, so if that's clever, going back up here, what was that? Course of existence. Course of existence. Life cycle. So the course being the cycle and existence being life. Cool. I like that. I like getting big clues like that. That's always fun. I think this might be Casto. CASTEAU, maybe? I'm just going to write that up here. that seems right. I want to say Castilla, but Custo yeah, something like that. I think it is. If that's the case, this is an S ending one for Switzerland's largest city. Still not ringing any bells at the moment, but that's okay. All right, so let's go back down over here. So if this is Jesse, that's E. Not sure. Hand measure. Hand measure. I mean, there is a measurement for horses that is hands. How many hands tall are they? But I don't think that's what it's referring to. I'm guessing it means to like not use, not use a digital instrument or something, if you know what I mean. But don't know what that would be. No. Okay. Professionals charge. Maybe a fee? As in, so you charge someone if you're a professional? That seems a bit... Just trying to think if there's another word you would use, but I think fee makes sense. I have to leave that one and come back. All right, bottom left. Let's have a look. So we have jeweled headwear. Tiara could fit there. Crown could fit there. Oh my gosh. There's too many word possibilities. All right. Let's see what else we've got. So showed sympathy for. If you show sympathy, you're caring for them, you're understanding them. Not sure. Nipple end of a baby's bottle. I'm guessing that's going to be teat. I think that's T-E-A-T, but I'm going to try and get some more before I put that in. Jealousy. Jealousy would be kind of like envy, maybe? The E would fit. Yeah, okay, so we've got 3 possible words. I mean, if that's correct, if those are all correct, let's say tiara or crown and one of those two. So teat would be T, I or R, E, D. T-I-E-D, T-I-D, or T-R-E-D. They could both work, I think, but the I seems more likely. I can't think what the start of the word would be. All right, somebody Connery, James Bond star, so Sean, E-A-N. That definitely fits envy, tiara, and teat. So we'll try and get one more. US Comics Company, Marvel. Marvel might fit. SM on the end. That's weird. I'm going to put that in. I think that has to be it because I just think it's too unlikely not to be. So this is envy. This is tiara. And this is teat. Tide and tide. Sympathy. Yeah, I don't know. Remain where you are. Stay. SMS on the end. This seems isms. So yeah, because like you think like racism and stuff like that. So isms, I would feel like that might be the ending there. So that'd be itide. Yeah. I'm going to get this word eventually. I've got to think about it. I'll come back to that in a second. But this one, so mild terms instead of harsher. Yeah, because that isms is a good way to end things like this, I think, in the English language. E something isms. E. Yeah, not getting it. Okay. In addition as well. 2. That one's easy. Okay, so down here, something Stewart soap character. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know my soaps at all. Compensate for. So that would be like, if you're compensating for it, you're making up for it, you're covering it. Yeah, not sure. Provides meals for, feeds, maybe. This will be Alf Stewart from Home and Away, I bet. Feeds. If you're not Australian and you're hearing me talk about Home and Away Neighbours, if you don't know what they are, they're effectively weeknight, 5:30, 6 o'clock weeknight TV shows, sort of your average drama sort of thing, I guess. People living in the same area and interacting, that kind of thing. So yeah. Yeah, okay, so I think that'll be Alf Stewart. I'm pretty sure it's spelled that way too. Female rabbit or hare. I want to say that that's like a U or something. I'm probably wrong on that though. Revere deeply. Yeah, not sure on that one. Vermilion. Oh gosh, I have no idea what that's going to mean. Compensate for. Account for? No. Yeah, not sure. All right, let's cycle back up to the top and see if we can figure any more things out from what we've got so far. Otherwise, I'll have to start looking up keywords and hoping I can figure it out. So fording or padding. I would be tempted to think that that's like ing. Is that Geneva? And that'd be an A. Yeah, that doesn't work though, does it? Geneva. I don't know why I think it's that, but fording or padding. Paddling, not padding. Gosh, I need to read that better. So if you're paddling or fording, you're crossing a river, you're going upstream, you're using an oar, paddling. How else would you describe paddling? Boating, treading water. I feel like that's going to be, yeah, it's going to be like a G there and it's going to be something in. Like, I'm pretty sure fording is to cross a river or something like that. And then paddling, well, paddling I suppose could be like playing in the water or something like that. But if you're paddling, walking, standing, swimming, I have to think about that one a bit more. All right, pay attention. Tune in. So you're tuning into a TV station or something and you tune into a conversation. This is looking much more likely to be Geneva, in which case this is not going to be Casto. It's going to be something else. All right, let's go up here. Something Duncan, Aussie actress. Still got nowhere close to that. Horse breed could be anything. Set your teeth on edge. Like grit your teeth, maybe. Yeah, not sure. All right. Must. Need to, should do, have to. I feel like that's going to be TO, definitely. Has to. And that's going to be chateau, isn't it? Because CHATEAU. That's it. Casto. I think I'm mixing up chateau and Castilla. So that makes a bit more sense now. So chateau. There we go. I definitely think this is luster. Going back up, where did we go? With Chateau A. Yeah, I reckon this has to be Geneva. I'm going to check it at the end, but I think that has to be Geneva. And I'm really, it's like waxing or something. Like, I'll have to look that one up. I think I'm just not getting it. All right, scruffy book. So if that's tog, E, twine, I'm pretty confident there's a T there now. That's a twine. Right, so if that's a G, it's like... That seemed weird. Eared? Bog-eared, maybe? That seems bog-eared. I'm curious. I feel like that's... It's not a term I'm going to know, I don't think. Hog-eared, maybe? Hog-eared, maybe. I'm gonna go with hog-eared, and we're gonna check that one at the end. All right. Thought things through. Remember? No. Thought things through. Reran? I don't know. Wash. If that's wash, that's an S there. What could go before an S if that's the case? No, not getting it. Takes notice of. I feel like I should be able to get that. So takes notice. Cleanse. I'm just trying to think if cleanse could be anything else, because you've got wash, yes, but like, what about in like a spiritual sense of cleansing? You would be like, I don't think there's another word you can use there. No. Compensate for is to allow. Could that work? Allow for. That might work actually. So if that's allow, so that's a W, and I think that's a H. Takes notice of. I don't think that would be an I or a U. E. Hughes or something? I don't know. And that leaves O and A. Howls. I feel like hears should be better or something. I don't know. Takes notice of. Alright. Okay, leave that for now. Back over here again. So hand measure to like account for or something. Even if I say that's a fee, I've got an E there, but and I think there's an I there. ER-isms. Something 3. Euphemisms. Euphemisms. That would be an interesting one. So that's P. EUP. That would be P. Something PASONAN. Open? No. Hand measure. Span? Hand span? Could that work? So if that's SPAN, and then that would be EUPH. Euphemism. I feel like that's it, but I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Euphemism. Okay. I think I'm going to look a couple up. So I'm going to have a look at this vermilion and I'm going to check that. I feel like I've got that correct, but yeah. Fortunately, there's an answer key at the back. So what I typically do is I just have a quick peek at the ones I can't get. So this is number 20 and I want vermilion and that one. So at number 20, we have euphemisms. Yes, so I was right on that. And red is vermilion. I wonder if it's a color thing. I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be red. So that's euphemisms. I feel like I should have known that. Anyway, the more I do these things, the harder I struggle sometimes. Euphemisms. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm glad I figured that one out at least. That's definitely going to be Jesse then. Span, I'm pretty confident on that. A hand span. Hand measure is a hand span. Show sympathy for ited, sighted, just running through the alphabet trying to think of what could be in that first letter. Showed sympathy for, yeah, not sure. Okay, all right, we've got a couple more. I think I'm gonna have to look some more of these up. I'm gonna go with, let's see. Okay, so we got, hang on, we'll go over here and see if we can figure this out. So if that's revere deeply, a door? Yeah, that has to be a door, right? And that's not going to be allow then. So that's going to be compensate. A something O. Compensate for. If you adjust or if you... I mean, account for would be a word, but it's longer. Unless that's one L, but I highly doubt that is. Could that be a W here? Okay, I'm going to check that one. Thought things through, because I feel like I'm not getting anywhere with that one. So we're going to have a look for that. I would normally look things up on my phone to try and check, but I don't have... I'm recording with my phone, so instead I'm having to check some of these. Reasoned. Okay, so the word they've used here is reasoned. I can understand that, but I will say it's sort of a... That's a... Yeah, I guess so. Alright. So that's reasoned. D-O for a rabbit. Female rabbit or hare. A doe, I'm guessing. And heeds. That would make sense. Heed my warning. So take notice of my warning. Ah, there we go. Okay, we're getting some more. Compensate for. I feel like I should know this word. It's just not coming to me. Let's run through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I don't know. I'm wondering if that is correct. Maybe it's not A at the start. Let me have another look. A tone. Oh, okay. Excuse me. That's an interesting one. A tone. Sorry, heeds is double E, not an A. That would be heads. A tone. Yeah. I've noticed in some of these, there's very sort of Christian connotations on certain words. And connections, and I mean to compensate, atone for your sins, if you will. So you compensate for your sins by trying to do better or something. But anyway, okay, so that makes sense. What have we got left? This one I don't know. That one I'm not 100% sure on. I'm going to look up the horse breed and I'm going to check the Scruffy book. Hopefully get these finished as well. So what have we got? So the horse breed is the Arab, and that's Dog-eared it's supposed to be. Okay, well, we were very close. Dog-eared. And that's an Arab horse breed. Makes sense because it's really short. Okay, set your teeth on edge. I think that's going to be jar. I feel like that makes sense. I'm going to check that again anyway. Something Duncan. Emily. Nope. Yeah, no idea. All right, I'm going to check these last 3 words. I think I've put a good, decent effort in, and these are really ones that I would have to look up. So we have, looking very closely, we have Paula Duncan. That was jar, so that's good. Wading and pitied. So wading through the water, fording and wading would make sense to me. Paula Duncan, fine, didn't get that one. And pitied, showed sympathy for, showed pity on them, I guess. I don't know if I'd line them up exactly the same. I will find with arrow words, there are a number of ones where I look at and I go, I can see the connection, but I don't feel like that's the right. I don't feel like it's a good connection, if I can put it that way. But anyway, thank you for watching if you're still with me. And that was an arrow word. So if you've never tried one, or if you don't like crosswords because they're too complex, try an arrow words. They're usually a little bit easier. And they have the answers at the back, so you can always check a few like I did today. And yeah, otherwise, if you like this, chuck a comment in or whatever, and I might do some more. And as per usual, if you want to keep me going, do the subscriptions, the comments, the likes, the bell, all the rest of it. And I'll see you in the next one.